It's fine and dandy to talk about the homeless, to say that we're going to help them, all that kind of stuff. Well, then why don't we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The fact that, yeah, to get off the street, live a normal life. Just live like normal people do.
Well, my idea on an informal support system is taking the colleges and the universities that offer psychology classes and telling them, not the junior ones that just got into it, but the more senior class members, to come out here and start talking to people and finding out, like, getting into their life as a friend and start looking at it. Because everybody out here, they all know that there's psychologists, there's counselors, and everything out there. The fact is, we don't want a formal setting. We don't want to be analyzed in a formal setting of somebody sitting in a chair and us laying on a couch. You know, we don't want that.
I mean, even the shelters can get a little hectic at times, from what I'm told. I've never stayed in a shelter, but you know, a lot of those hotels too they're marginally, you know, the pest situation, bed bugs and so on, are rampant down there. And, there are people, certainly I've heard from, who prefer to would rather sleep on the grass somewhere in one of those buildings.
They give us a half an hour to get out of there.
Right.
And this is the stuff, some of the stuff that was left behind. And the city workers, the police came in and put it in a big pile, wrecked most of it. And it's just a big pile of garbage, and it's been sitting there for days now.
Like, is it a result of the fact that when I was growing up, you know, my mom was on welfare, there was no dad around, circumstance like that. I grew up in a shitty neighborhood, you know. My mom was a drug addict, but at the same time, I know people that came from that background and they made it, you know.
Right.
What do you think is not working? What is the government doing that is completely...
Arresting us, stopping us from staying in parks. The government is turning on sprinklers into the parks in the middle of the night between 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning, so we're all sleeping. Next thing you know, you're soaked and all your shit's soaked, right?
homelessness could be have more aware of the businesses, and the businesses could be more aware of the homeless. In some way, incorporate both of them. In some way, just keep it that both of them together can work it out somehow.
Welfare pays $3.25. If a person's only getting the bare minimum, which allows them whatever $80 to their groceries, if they have to take $20 out of their grocery money for a room, they can't afford to do it. And not to mention, it is not a very nice place.
I think all you can do is ask yourself, did anything I do today make my life better? Right? Doesn't mean your life's going to be great, but
Well, I've been stopped by the police a couple of times, and they asked me what's going on. I told them I'm trying to get in with Naomi, and they never even heard of it. You know, if they, instead of throwing everybody in jail and then got a big, you know, everybody's back out in a few days doing the same thing. If they were educated more about all these programs, it'd probably help out a lot.
Some people are challenged by safety issues. They don't feel that comfortable in the hotels because of addiction and dealing situations. There's people who are bound by addictions or challenged by mental health issues. They feel that some of the hotels are a threatening environment. One thing that would be useful would be more places like the Health Contact Center, where we have information and referral for services, a non-threatening, non-challenging environment for many of the people down there, and not just the younger ones. They've never had a trust relationship with anyone that represents authority, which can be something as simple as somebody sitting behind a desk.
This is another building that's right across the street where they're selling for about $400,000 a suite. They could have taken that same building and turned it into 500 suites for the homeless.
people have to help themselves, man. But I don't like to say that like that means they don't need help from the system.
There's Victor Square. Mm-hmm. That's a great park. It's excellent. It's got water fountains.
Right.
It's got bathrooms over here.
Yeah.
Need more of those around.
Need more parks with water fountains and bathrooms.
Yeah. Because it helps out large with everybody.
The city needs to kind of get off their butt and build this building instead of just hanging a sign, taking away a parking lot where dozens and dozens of people used to sleep every night. They fenced it off and they've taken it away. So where did that 2 dozen, 3 dozen people go to find a place to sleep? They've had to go somewhere else.
You think there's enough youth programs?
There's more than enough right now.
Yeah. So right now the issue should be
25
and older.
Yeah.
people need to be able to find somebody that can speak for them, somebody that can look through all of the listings for rooms, and convince people not to get frustrated. You may get no the first time, no the second time, no the third time, but you know what? No's an alright answer, but keep at it. Perseverance pays, right? And but a lot of people, they don't have access to the phones. Anytime there's access to a phone, they're only allowed 2 minutes on the phone. You know, it's not enough time if they're on hold. There needs to be some way of bridging the gap between the people that are homeless who probably could, you know, function in a room or whatever, but aren't capable of doing that themselves.
Home is wherever my backpack is.